What up, YouTube? What up, Fight World? It's your boy D Dynamite here, aka MrBoxer.com, aka Mr. Holla at your motherfucking boy, man. And I'm here to drop some of that boxing knowledge in your ear, man. So, I gotta talk about this Canelo versus Kirkland. Oh boy. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this shit, man. Now, quick disclaimer, man. If you're a Canelo fanboy, you love Canelo, that's your boyfriend, your butt buddy, whatever, you guys are in love, you're probably not going to like this video because there's going to be a little bit too much truth involved in this video. So go ahead and click off of it now, or go ahead and hit the dislike button, whichever one you prefer. But I'm going to be spitting some real shit at you, man, and you know, you're not going to really be able to dispute what it is I'm talking about. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it now. Let me just start off by saying, let me go ahead and paint the picture for you guys on my idea of a good fight, okay? What's the Dynamite's version of a good fight? What is a good fight? Well, let me tell you. Thanks for asking, by the way. Let me go ahead and tell you. My definition of a good fight is two opponents with very similar or comparable attributes: speed, power, technical skill, all right, experience, similar attributes in addition to the stylistic matchup. All right, what that means: boxer versus the puncher. Okay, classic stylistic clash. Okay, you guys got to remember that, you know, there's a bunch of different styles out there. Okay, it's like rock, paper, scissors. Okay, paper beats rock. You know, paper beats rock, rock beats scissors, okay? Scissors cuts paper, all right? These are all things that this ties into boxing, because the stylistic matchups, there's going to be some styles that are more suitable to deal with other styles, and vice versa. But depending on the styles, it really ties into what kind of fight this is going to be. So with all that being said, right, now that we know, now that we can look at the attributes, I've already defined to you guys what my idea of a good fight is. Let's take a look at Canelo versus Kirkland. Okay, in the area of speed, goes to Canelo. In the area of power, I would say that goes to Canelo too. In the area of technical skill, once again, that goes to Canelo. In the area of experience, another notch for Canelo. All right. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the stylistic matchup. Let's look at what kind of puncher, not what kind of puncher, let's look at what kind of fighters both James Kirkland and Canelo Alvarez. James Kirkland, let's talk about his style. All right. Pressure fighter, throws a whole lot of punches, okay? Uses attrition to wear down his opponent. Canelo Alvarez, boxer puncher, counter puncher, uses sharp counter punches to break his opponent's defense, all right, and wear them down. All right, now let's put these two in the ring. You got one guy that throws a whole lot of punches, and you got another guy that counter punches. I don't even have to say anything. You put those two in the ring together. You tell me, what do you think would happen? Given the counter puncher has all the other attributes to his side: the speed, the power, the technical skill, the experience. The counter puncher has all those other attributes, in addition to the fact that his style is the kryptonite of the style that he's facing. So now that you've taken all that into consideration, now let's go ahead and talk about the intangible things. All the other things that play a role in fights. Things that have to be considered when you're talking about matchmaking, okay? Now, we don't need to analyze Canelo because Canelo's pretty much a straight shooter. He's pretty focused and dedicated to the sport. He had an injury. He hasn't fought in a while, so, you know, whatever. But let's talk about James Kirkland here. Let's talk about somebody who's been in and out of jail, okay? Did not use his primary trainer and Wolf. Dropped about 50 pounds, okay, to make weight for this fight. And in addition to those things, he's only fought twice in the last 4 years. I don't know about you, but to take all those other things, in addition to this, into consideration, from what I can tell, this guy does not belong in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. It's all right, people. We done already grasp that. We get it. Okay? And here's the thing, people. I ain't no hater. If a fighter has worked his way up the rankings and he has earned the right to challenge the #1 guy, I'm all for that fight happening. I don't care how it happens. I had no problem with Kell Brook versus Jojo Dan. Okay? That was fine in my book. Kell Brook was fighting the #1 contender. He was satisfying his requirement. Kell Brook was fighting the next person in line for his title. There's nothing wrong with that. But James Kirkland is nowhere near the level of a challenger for Canelo Alvarez. Someone who's ranked #1 in the WBC. Okay? James Kirkland isn't even ranked in the top 10, 20. I would even debate 50 for the WBC. Now, I haven't checked this so recently, so I don't know. They might have put him somewhere in the top 50 just to, I don't know, make the fight not seem as lopsided. Who knows? My only point is James Kirkland isn't on the radar, okay? So Canelo Alvarez really picked someone out of left field to fight. He cherry-picked an opponent that was tailor-made for him to knock out in that fashion. And I can't respect that. I can't respect that he picked some guy that would be easy pickings for him. Is he supposed to get props for that? Hell no. All right. For the people that give Canelo Alvarez credit for knocking out James Kirkland, you might as well go ahead and give Danny Garcia credit for knocking out Rod Salka, because it's the same shit. The very same shit in my book. All right? Go ahead and pick up the phone, call Danny Garcia, let him know that you're sorry, okay, for not giving him the credit that he deserved for his Rod Salka victory. Go ahead and do it. If you're giving Canelo credit for this win. Because to me, Canelo didn't prove anything. He didn't do anything. All right? He didn't get a belt. He didn't fight a contender. It doesn't mean that he's good. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a win, a W, to go along with the other 40 no-named fights that he has on his record. So all in all, man, I just can't respect Canelo for this fight, man. I can't give him credit for beating someone he was supposed to beat. For getting a victory he was almost guaranteed to get from the day the fight was announced. Where do you get credit for beating someone you're supposed to beat? Are you guys going to give me credit for beating up a little girl? I'm not calling James Kirkland a little girl, but you get where I'm coming from. This wasn't a competitive fight. In my eyes, it wasn't a good fight. Canelo definitely put on a show by launching this spectacular knockout. But at the end of the day, I'm not impressed. I'm not. And to Talk to you casual fans who believe this rhetoric and all this propaganda put out by HBO and about how they believe that this fight was better than Mayweather Pacquiao. Listen, don't listen to bullshit. It's just ridiculous how they make these dumbass comparisons. Okay? In no way was this fight comparable to a Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Mayweather versus Pacquiao are two top level opponents fighting each other for supremacy. This fight, Canelo versus Kirkland, was one-sided from the very day that it was announced. If that's what your idea of a good fight is, shit, you guys can have that. I'll stick to my version.